Aloha, this is Cindy, your host over at Ask Cindy Connector Live. Make sure that you like me on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and on YouTube. Go to Ask Cindy Connector Live. Matter of fact, if you subscribe, comment, and share this very video, either on Facebook or LinkedIn, I'll gift you a 5-night hotel stay. My name is Cindy Lee. I am your host over at Ask Cindy Connector Live, and I do small business marketing. So make sure that you check out surfcityalohamarketing.com if you need a digital card or you need a gratitude gift for your client. Check out surfcityalohamarketing.com. So my friend Sandra Jackson, first time on the show. Thank you to Robert Buttman for the referral. Appreciate that.
Greetings. How are you, Cindy? And thank you so much for allowing me to come and sending me this invite. I appreciate you and I appreciate Robert as well.
Well, thank you. So tell my audience a little backstory about who you are first and then kind of go into your story.
Well, I am the 12th child of 15 children. My mom and dad were pastors in upstate New York. Yes, that's a large number, right? And I grew up in a loving home. I am the mother of 9 children whom I love so dearly. And yes, I had all of them natural births except for my last one, which was a cesarean birth. And they called me the drive-through delivery woman.
Really? So why is that?
Because I went in quickly and God allowed me to deliver within a half an hour. And most people were in there for like hours and days.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the book. What inspired you to write this book and what is it about?
This book is a heavy duty book. And so I am Sandra, the shiftologist. And you know how when people suffer loss, pain, discouragement, and they're stuck in a life in which they cannot seem to get themselves together. Well, I shift them to the place where, from where they are right now to the place where God wants them to be. So this book came to fruition because I was in my prayer closet and I was praying. I said, I'm going to go in my closet for about a week. And the week turned into a month and a half. And the last day when I was in there, I was talking to God and lying prostrate on the floor. And all of a sudden, I heard this title, Trauma, Grief, Pain Bodies, and Healing. And so I know what pain bodies are, right? Do you know what pain bodies are? Not many people know what pain bodies are. And so I want my audience to do the research and look up the definition about pain bodies, because we've all seen Will Smith on open stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those were his pain bodies that lie dormant for so many years. And then they had to come to surface because he did not deal with them. And so in this book, it's touching the pain that we have suppressed. It's going to give you a challenge to deal with it, because if you don't deal with it, it will deal with you.
Exactly. I'm going to go to YouTube really quickly so I could share your YouTube with the audience. Let me just pull this up here. Oh, that's a beautiful banner. I love it. Okay, share. So talk about your YouTube page for a minute.
Oh my. So on my YouTube, I am the shiftologist, and I started a company entitled Sandra's Journey into Purpose. We are living our journey right now. And so I'm going to help everybody on their journey to reach that destination. And what I do is I host an hour interview for whomever. If you're an author, if you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, a teacher, a lawyer, a dentist. My dentist will be coming on soon. I'm excited about that.
Wow.
And so I interview them for an hour and I allow them to showcase their passions. In turn, that is feeding the audience and giving them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in which they would not be privy to. I also host marriage symposium And that is, I interview married couples so they can highlight their lives and show the world that marriages work in this during this pandemic.
So let's talk about that.
Oh gosh. So I interviewed a married couple, and I did not realize how beneficial this show was. And once again, God told me to do it. All of a sudden, I got a call from a friend in Detroit that I hadn't heard from in years. And she said, Sandra, thank you for obeying God. She said, I watched your show at 3 o'clock in the morning on YouTube. She said, my husband and I were at odds. She said, I built a home in Belize,
Oh,
and it was
love
a
it.
surprise for him for our whatever anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is he didn't appreciate the surprise. And so it caused a rift in the home. She said, but I watched your marriage symposium, and on there, it provided me with the tools to go and make up with my husband. And so that really made me so happy that I had obeyed God with marriage symposium.
Wow. So do you have a copy of your book?
I don't have a copy right now. It's in pre-order. And
Okay.
so trauma, grief, pain, bodies, and healing, you can go to sandra360.com. I made it so easy for you. All right. And you will find all of my contacts on there. And I would like for you to leave me a message and communicate with me, and I will respond as well.
So is this, this is just a platform where you can go to. Here, let me post this also. Here. So there you go. Check it out. Yeah. So let's talk about this site here. So you have an Anchor podcast as well.
Oh, I do. So it's entitled Matters of the Heart with Estelle. And so on many of my platforms, I have other people and I interview them. But on my podcast, it's just me speaking directly to the audience about various topics. And I just did one the other night. I went to Cancun and had a blast.
Nice.
And
I
I
see
saw
that. That's
God in a
awesome.
different way that I had ever seen him before. And so I talked about it on this show, and I talked about um, the name of it was God Promised Me. How many times have we been in situations where we said, people say comments to us, right? Oh, you're fat, or you don't have enough money, or your health
Mhm.
is failing you. Well, you can say to them, but God promised me. God promised me that I'm going to be healthy. God promised me that He would take care of me. So that podcast is just to encourage the mindset of people during this pandemic, because so many people have anxiety and they're worried
Mhm.
about so many different topics. Just like the murder in Texas and the
Yeah.
murders in New York, upstate New York. Well, I was born in Rochester, which is an hour away from Buffalo, so I can relate to the mourning, the grief that has touched our cities. And so our prayers are with each and every person that is grieving right now. This book, Trauma, Grief, Pain, Bodies, and Healing, it will do your soul good. It is a refreshing book. In this book, I give you challenges every day. I offer a prayer for you every single day. In there are some of my favorite verses in scripture. I also have some lyrics to some beautiful songs because I love singing. Yeah. And
Mhm.
so this book is jam packed with a lot of things that will brighten your day. It's like a cool drink of water.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, so I don't want to get too much into negativity, but there's something I want to bring up with that massacre from the other day. There was a young lady, I don't know, 8 or 10 years old, and she actually pretended that she passed away.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. So she pulled some blood that was on one of her classmates and put it on her. And yeah, she just stood there until all of that was over. And yeah, she actually just got back from the hospital yesterday. So I think
That
it's
is
super
so
important to
unfortunate,
teach our
Cindy.
children that. That is pretty powerful, So
Cool.
that's something she learned from her parents, or She must have seen something online, or somebody in school must have taught her that.
right?
So
Or
that's
some of
super
the
important.
teaching.
That's a good lesson to take if you're
It
in a
is.
tragic situation like that.
Yes, because my daughter, we go to, we're in Noblesville, Indiana. And
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago, there was a shooting in a neighboring high school. And so what they did was they took all of those high schoolers and they
Mm-hmm.
transported them to my daughter's school, which I'm at work, right? And so I got the message that the shooting happened. As a parent, your heart is beating and palpitating so quickly you can't even hardly think correctly, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so when I drove up to the school, there were hundreds of parents out there trying to get their children out of school. And I can see my daughter in the window on the top level, but I couldn't reach her. Can you imagine how that felt for the parents that lost their children in a shooting?
Mm-hmm.
We can only imagine. And that's why we pray for these situations. We're praying all over the globe.
And also the teacher who was unfortunately shot. Her husband passed away 2 days after that.
My
Yeah. So
sister
it's
just told me,
so yeah,
and he passed because of heartache. He
broken
didn't
heart.
pass because of a health issue, you
Mm-hmm.
know? He passed because he couldn't believe he lost his dear wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, matters of the heart.
And the community really comes together. And I wanted to do a really big plug for Mary West with the Mary West Network. She really enjoyed you coming on today. And Mary, all you have to do is go to Sandra360.com. This is the website there. And you can see all her social links and you can connect with her that way. And I'll also do a inbox on Facebook and also an email for a formal introduction. So, in closing, who would you like to shout out to today?
You know what? I was thinking about this. I want to just tell my parents who have both of them have deceased, but I just want to say the words thank you. Because had not they um, gone through everything they went through to teach me and my siblings everything they did, we wouldn't be here today. I want to tell my 9 children, thank you for being patient with their mom. I want to tell uh, Robert, thank you for introducing me to
Woo-hoo.
Cindy. And Cindy, I want to tell you thank you for having me, and meeting you has been such a blessing.
So, we have a Facebook user. We don't know who it is. If you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, we got about 1 more minute left on the show, and we could thank you. I don't know who this is because it just says Facebook user. But if you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, we'll be able to see who it is. Here's another message from Mary. Yes, so that's pretty amazing. 9 children. So, wow. What are the ages?
So 32 is the oldest and 15 is the youngest. And my daughter
Mhm.
Sandra, which is 18, she will be graduating high school. She just received an award today for her amazing
Congratulations.
accomplishments. She's in the
Mhm.
Guard. And so they made it to state, and we're so happy about that. I just went to the city hall yesterday for her. They gave them a huge ceremony at the city hall in Noblesville. Yeah. So I'm just so ecstatic. And I thank my audience for coming and watching the show today and supporting me, because I know nobody have to support us, right, Cindy? But
Yeah.
we appreciate every supporter. Cool.
So, really quickly, on Pay It Forward Friday, what will you do today and the weekend, not business related, personal related, to a complete stranger? What would you do to make a difference to somebody's life in the next 3 days?
So I have a book here that I co-authored. And what I'm doing with this
Mhm.
campaign is I'm gifting it to people for free. It's of value for $25, but
Okay.
it's a gift. And because I wrote a chapter in this book, and if anyone wants one in the audience, just let us know, and I will gift it to you. My hidden strength. All right. I wrote a chapter about do not ignore the signs. All right. And so that's what I will be doing this weekend.
So Martina Joyful Anderson says, congratulations.
Thank you.
So what are you going to do this weekend to pay it forward to a complete stranger?
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I have these in my car. And so what I do is if I go to the grocery store or wherever I go, I see someone that looks like, yeah, I want to bless them today. So I do that. I love to give. And I'm doing an anthology as well with 25 co-authors. And
Mm-hmm.
in that anthology, they're telling their story. The title is Life After ... What are the dots? Loss, depression, life after cancer. I went through cancer as well, and God allowed me to survive.
Wow.
I am ecstatic about that, all right, because millions didn't make it, but I'm one of the ones who did. And so life after depression, life after cancer, life after forgiveness, whatever the topic is, life after an illness, life after whatever. And so 25 wonderful co-authors joined this project with me, and look for it. It will be out on Amazon in September.
Well, awesome. We also have another message. Congratulations to you for all your accomplishments from Rosalind Crawford. Thank you,
Thank you
Rosalind.
so much, Rosalind. I appreciate that.
So for me, business-wise, how I pay it forward is I call 5 people a day to express gratitude. On the other level, what I like to do every single day and the weekend, if I go to the grocery store, I compliment the employees. If I'm out and about, say Costco or anywhere, I'm going to be watching the Top Gun movie in LA here in a couple hours. And so I'll compliment someone on their smile, their outfit. If you see military, it's really super important, especially if they're Vietnam, if they have their little Vietnam War hat. You definitely want to say thank you for your service. But first off, you say welcome home. Thank you for your service. Super crucial.
So my son was in the military, and God allowed him to get out safely. And so he's home. He lives in Texas right now. And so I thank him so much. And all of the hardworking servicemen, they go through a whole lot that we will never know about. And so that thank you may seem small to us, but it's huge to them.
Well, thank you. I'm going to do a shout out over at KFI Radio here in LA. I'm actually going to be on their radio show, and I'm going to be talking about how to use National Day Calendar to appreciate people throughout the year, whether it be Brownie Day, Blonde Brownie Day, Caramel Corn Day, Just Be Nice Day, whatever day it is. I like to appreciate people throughout the year. And so that's going to be 5:30 a.m. Pacific time. You could just stay tuned to either Ask Cindy Connector Live or Bucket List Coach Web Show for all the information on that. I might even just go live while I'm, on the phone so everybody can hear the interview. So anything else you want to shout out before I put you in the green room?
No, thank you so much for this time. I appreciate you. You have a safe weekend. And to my audience, I love you with everything that's within me. Thank you.
And go out this weekend and watch Top Gun. Make the most of that dash. We have the day that we're born and the day that we pass away. Are you living out your dash? All right, I'll put you in the green room. Thank you. Well, make sure you connect. You could actually check out her site here on YouTube. All the links will be provided here in the next couple days. And as always, think of 5 people every single day to express gratitude. Shaka, and happy Pay It Forward Friday.